What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. I've got a little bit of a different video than what I normally do. So one of my most requested videos, not just recently, but really of all time, has been to show off my entire school bus collection. Now, mind you, this is hundreds of pieces and not just something that I can shoot in an hour as much as I would like to. Obviously, I have stuff right here. There's a few things over here, but I also have stuff over here, behind the camera, above the camera, around here, out the door. I have stuff all over the place. I have a massive collection, and I want to show you in this video how I keep track of everything. Now, in addition to just this video, I do have a couple other videos that I would like to make here in the future as I do eventually ramp up to finally do a complete school bus, collection tour. I have a few other videos that I would like to make showing off kind of administering and keeping, a grip on the collection overall. So be on the lookout for those. So in this video, I want to show you how I keep track of everything because like I said, I have hundreds of pieces and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It is boring, it is tedious, and it is not the most interesting part of collecting in general. But it is one of the most important parts of collecting. Because I have so many pieces, it's important to know what I have, when I got it, how much I paid for it, and just, general stuff like that. So let me dive a little more into this. So if you follow me on Flickr, and you totally should, there's a lot of great bus stuff on there. You'll know that every now and then I post pictures of bus models and bus memorabilia in general. And in those pictures, you will see that every bus or everything has its own little unique tag or piece of paper to go along with it with what just kind of looks like just a bunch of random letters and numbers thrown onto it. But it's not random. So I'd like to introduce to you my spreadsheet where I keep everything tracked and logged. It's not the most organized thing. It's not the best system. I'm sure there's a lot better things out there, but it works well for me. So let me briefly show you around the spreadsheet now. So this is the home page. This is where we start off. This is what I open up to every time, and kind of the home page of when I want to input something into the collection. Because my collection is very large, I don't just want to number everything 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to divide this up into separate categories just to make it more organized for me. So for example, A happens to be models. That's what I have a lot of. That's what, it screams school bus, having actual models. So that's why that's first. Then we have B, which is literature, C, which is wearables, D, which is parts, E is promotional, F is pictures, G is miscellaneous. Now I'm sure that as the collection grows over time, some of those letters might end up changing. If I get more specific pieces, I might need to expand that, and that's okay. That's why there are lots of letters and numbers on there, 10 digits. So looking at this little model right here, the first three are A4A. So let's see if we can figure out what A4A is. So because the first letter is letter A, it's a model, obviously. I mean, it's more right here. We see it. Then we want to come down and figure out what type of model it is. School bus, activity bus, transit bus, coach bus, other bus, or double-decker bus. Now, I put A4, so this is a coach bus. Yes, I guess this could be, classified as a transit bus, but this is what I put down as the time, so that's what I'm keeping it as. So it is a coach bus model, and then the last A on there, what's that? Now we have stuff broken down into scales. 1/64th scale, which is roughly the scale of a Hot Wheels or a Matchbox. 1/53rd, which is what these models are back here. HO scale, which is what models like this little Herpa Bluebird are. Super small scale, you just kind of know it when you see it. 1/43rd scale, which is even bigger than these, and then large scale where they're like, ginormous models and just kind of unreasonably, scaled. So just based off of A4A alone, we can tell that this is a 1/64th coach bus model. And that's how everything here is broken down into different letters, different numbers, in completely different categories just to keep everything organized and know exactly how much of what I have. At the bottom, you can see that I have pages for each of the letters corresponding to what everything on the home page was. The collections page is for whenever I am buying or receive more than just a few models. So if I buy a big lot on eBay, then I'm going to input it here so that I know that I paid X amount for not just one bus or one model, but a whole set of them. So now let's take a look at the A sheet on here. So as you can see, there is just a lot going on here. Let's just break everything down column by column. So starting on the far left, this is the item number. This is the individual number, the barcode almost, that every individual item in my collection receives. And what's great about these, and why I do have these, first couple letters and numbers in there, is so that I can search for exactly how much of something I have. So A4A, how many coach bus models in the 1/64th scale do I have? I can easily figure that out in just a quick search. All I got to do is type A4A, and we can figure out that I have 8 of those. Column B is the year that the model was made. So for example, this Hot Wheels school bus was made in 2000. Column C is obviously the manufacturer, Hot Wheels, Matchbox, whoever ended up making it. Column D is the model name. That's pretty self-explanatory. Now column E through H is almost like my own little mini fleet. Like, if you've seen Noah's videos, for example, he has his own transportation service. I think it's called ATS or something like that, where, oh, this model is bus, 3. It's a 1986 Wayne International. That's essentially kind of what I'm doing here. It's not really official, but if I had something in mind, then that's where it goes in here. So going back to this Hot Wheels school bus, it's a 1990 Crown Super Coach. Now column I is the number of the bus, and this can be either something that I put on there personally when I was younger, either with like a Sharpie or a sticker or what have you, or something that was already printed on the bus whenever I got it. In this case, that Super Coach is T120. Column J is just a very brief item description. It doesn't need to be anything specific, just if it has any, if it's broken or just an identifiable piece about it, just something so that I know what bus it is without having to look at the picture if I didn't need to. So we can see that that is one of the maroon surf and school buses. Now column K through O is something that I would like to keep filled in as much as possible, but something that, especially with older pieces in my collection, is just not possible. As you can see here, none of it is filled in. Who I got it from, how much I paid for it, how much it's worth is kind of, it really just depends. And especially with stuff like the surf and school bus, those are newer, and I can sell them for a couple bucks, but it's not really worth putting in what the actual worth of it is. Now the collection, going back to the collection page, if I got all of this as a gift, or if I bought multiple models together, however that is, I can keep all of that together and know exactly where it came from and how much I paid for it. Column O is the amount made. Not very commonly used. If I have specifics, then I'll put it in there. But that's just really for extremely collectible pieces. But I have used it a few times. Column P is, well, the picture. As you can see, these are all Flickr links. These are all public pictures. I can just click on any one of them and it will bring me directly to the page of bus T120, the maroon, or really it looks red, surf and school bus. And the last column, column Q, is the video. If I do have a video of it, that's where I link it. So now that I've explained the spreadsheet to you, and I hope most of this made sense, let's go ahead and let's input a model that I don't have inventoried into the spreadsheet. Okay, so I decided we're going to do two different things. We're going to do a model and a piece of literature, just so I can show you just the brief differences. So first we're going to start off with this beautiful ER model. I love this model right here. So the first thing that we got to do is we got to figure out a tag to put on it. So the most commonly used, I use these just little tags, I picked them up at Walmart for like $2. I got 100 of them, and they're great, and I use them for a lot of stuff. Now, sometimes those are just way too big. Going back to that home page, I do have a super small scale on there, And sometimes I have to use a smaller version of that, which is why I have these. Again, just Walmart, like a buck or two, and there's 100 of them, so I have these if I need them. Next, I have just little strips of paper. I just cut up a note card, 5 or 6 times just to make this big enough to write on, and so that I can attach it or put it with whatever I need it to. So for this, I would put this piece of paper inside of a box, or if it's a book, I would just use this as almost like a bookmark or something. And then the last thing I use are these little kind of market post-it notes type deal. So I can stick these onto things, which is nice. And they're pretty much the same exact thing as this, just a little more versatile because I can stick it onto stuff. And then a few times I have had to use masking tape, just rip off a little strip of it. This is mainly just for emblems or, stuff that none of that really works on. So because this is a model and I have put, stuff on this model before, I know that we're going to use one of these. So we'll just tear one of these off and let's get to figuring out what we're going to write on here. So the first letter that we're definitely going to write on there is A1 because this is a school bus model. Now we got to figure out what scale it is. I know off the top of my mind that this is a 1/53rd scale model, so this is going to be A1B. So now we have A1B written on there. It's not going to focus right, but now we got to figure out how many other 1/53rd school bus models I have so that we can fill out the rest properly. To do that, all we got to do is Control F, do a quick search for A1B, and we can see that there are 15 results already. So A1B 0000016, because this is going to be the 16th one that I put in there. So now we're going to write everything down into the spreadsheet. So we'll do A1B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6. So the next step is that we've got to input the stuff in here. So this will be specific to the model itself, not the bus, but the model. So unfortunately, looking at the bottom, there's not a whole lot to work with. We see made in China over here. So Thomas did not actually sit here and make this model. They, went to someone else who made this model. So we don't have a year or a manufacturer, but we do have a model name, which is Safety Liner ER, as it says on the bottom of the bus right up here. So now for the next few columns, we can be a little more lenient and free with the bus. So we can come up with the stuff. So because this has the older Thomas logo on the top, we're going to call this a 1993 model. So 1993 in there. The make is a Thomas, and the model is a Safety Liner ER. And there is no number on this bus. I'm not going to put anything on there, so we're just going to leave that blank. So for item description, I know that I only have 2 ERs, one white roof and one yellow roof. So for item description, all I'm going to put is white roof. Now I got to figure out where I got this bus from. I have no idea, which is another big piece as to why I want to do this spreadsheet, just so I can keep track of all of this stuff. So let's go back and see if I can find that. So I knew that at some point I had done a video of this. Thankfully, I was able to find it with just a quick search. And I found out that I bought this off of Noah. Now, unfortunately, for how much, that's something I would have to go back and find because this was in 2019. That's not a super big concern for me right now. So we're just going to put Noah for right now. Price paid, unknown, but we will go ahead and put the video link in there just because. So the next thing that I'm going to do is kind of a little bit off, but since there is multiple stuff in this package, I'm going to mark this as a collection because I don't think I've done so already. So this page is a fairly new addition. It's something that I thought of for my other collection. If you didn't know, I also collect scouting memorabilia. And that's aside from the point. But I'll do a first full column in here since I only added this specific page about a week ago. So the collection number is going to be 9 because there's already 8 other ones. The amount of pieces, let's go back to the video and see how many pieces were in there. So there were 9 different bus things in there, so we'll put 9 right there. So now just to type up a few quick things about it, there were a few models in there, a brochure, a picture, and that was it. Who I got this from, Noah gave this to me as a birthday gift in 2019. Thank you, Noah. And the video, we'll just put that there just so that's there. So now we're almost done with this. I'm going to go ahead and put the tag on here. I like to just wrap it around the wheels like this. It makes it a lot harder to accidentally fall off. So now we're done with this model. Let's go ahead and do this piece of literature now. Okay, I don't think I've actually shown this one off on video. This is pretty freaking cool. Not necessarily school bus, but it is a GM bus, as you can see right there, specific for the Army. I just thought this was a super, super cool piece that I picked up. And, you know, I just can't pass up something like this, even if it's not necessarily a school bus. Okay, so the first step, we got to pick out what type of tag we want. I'm just going to go ahead and go with one of the note card ones. These are the simplest. Just drop it in there, and that's that. So now we're going to go to the home page and figure out what we need to write on here. So this is a piece of literature, so it's going to start with the letter B. I'm going to classify this as a brochure specific to the chassis, which is GM. So B1A1. So we'll come down here to B. We'll do a search for B1A1. We'll see that there's already 7 others, so this needs to be number 8. And now our tag is complete. Okay, so now let's go ahead and input some information about this. So we'll start off with the item number B1A1000008. Now, according to the tag, you can see right up here, this is a copy of a 1942 GMC brochure. So while it's not original, we're still going to put 1942 on there. So I also want to throw out there, for each of these different pages, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, each column and row in there is a little bit different just based off of what I have. I'm not going to include the year or the month on a t-shirt, you know, that's when I don't need that stuff in there. So there's not a month on there. The manufacturer, if you look down at the bottom, you can see it is made by Yellow Truck and Coach Manufacturing Company. So we're going to put yellow on there. The chassis is GM. A specific model, I don't know my yellow buses that well. That's a green bus, even though it's made by Yellow Coaches. I don't know a specific model, so just going to leave that blank. The publication, this might have been in some sort of magazine. I'm not entirely sure. But we're just going to leave that blank because it's not specific on here and I don't know. Now for the headline, whatever is kind of smack dab on there, the first kind of big thing on there, which in this case is Soldiers 3 All GMC. That's what we're going to put under the headline. So now a brief item description. I do want to make 2 notes about this. Like I said, this is a copy and not an original, so I want to put that on there. And I also want to put that this was packaged. So now where did I get this from? I know exactly where I got it from. We got it from a Phoenix Antique store. And how much did I pay for it? I paid $7.50 for this. This is a little too much, maybe just for a piece of paper, but hey, it has a bus on it, so can't pass it up. The price worth, I'm not exactly sure right now, especially because it is a copy. The amount made, I don't know. I don't have a picture of it yet, and I know that I haven't done a video on this. So now that we've done that, now the last step for both of these is taking pictures, uploading them to Flickr, and putting them into the spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So I'm just going to take pictures right here on top of the fridge. Just, you know, it looks fine. It's a black background, and it's convenient. Now we just got to upload these 2. Both of these are titled now, and we're just going to double check to make sure that the tag is clear in both of them, and as you can see, that is. So now we'll select both of these, and we'll add it to the collection album and the memorabilia album. So now we'll just copy the link, come over here, paste that, come back here, copy this link, go here, and paste that there. And now we're done. Now we've inputted 2 things into the inventory list. All right, and there we go. That's it. Is this, like I said, the most interesting? Absolutely not. I know that this is boring stuff. I know that this is kind of just busy work, but I feel that this is an extremely important part of having not just a school bus collection, but any collection that is large and consists of hundreds of pieces. I could definitely be going overkill here, but I really like that I am just able to easily find anything within a moment's notice to know that if I already have something, if someone's asking me if I want something, and I can just pull it up and say I already have it, if I need to know how much I paid for something, or if I just want to find a picture or a video of something. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I have a few other videos specific to the collection that I would like to make before I ultimately do this massive school bus collection tour. So be on the lookout for those. So yeah guys, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, always appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe right down here. It's a magical red button that says you are now subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it, I don't care where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or I will go 3 hours non-stop talking about spreadsheets, which I'm sure you are all thrilled about. And make sure you also share this video with a friend, show it to your mom, show it to your dad, show it to a guy in a random street. I don't care, don't let anything happen to you. So yeah guys, that's going to do it for this video, and thanks for watching.